All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. What do we have? December 26th. Another Christmas has come and gone. Holiday season finishing up. I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. Enjoyed it with your family and friends. Were able to enjoy a little time off and take some time to yourself. And, staying safe, staying positive, and all of that great stuff. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me this morning. Up at 7 a.m., I am ready to go. I had a great workout already this morning. I was actually up at 4 a.m. getting ready for our discussion. I thought getting a good workout in, get me ready to go, get me sort of pumped up for a topic that I thought would be very interesting. And I think all of you, either listening live, either listening later on, will be able to get a lot of benefit from and a lot of value. And that's always my main goal for these streams. So again, thank you so much to listening for another Foods for Health live stream. Coach Nate here. And again, thank you so much. I hope you guys had a great holiday season, great Christmas. I know we're still in the holidays, but it just seems like time is passing us by so quickly. Eileen, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good morning to you from Florida. Must be nice and sunny there. It's not too bad here, actually, up here in Canada. I'm a little surprised, actually. Quite warm this morning. Actually, no snow, which is a big surprise. But thank you again so much, guys. A topic today, which I really want, the point is we're breaking down sort of the macro look that we've been sort of doing for the last little while, looking at overall heart health, looking at diabetes, looking at weight loss, the epidemic of weight gain and obesity and things like that, and sort of breaking it down and looking at certain micronutrients that can benefit our overall health in a number of different ways, especially today, all right, especially in the times that we're living in. With immunity and immune system boosting and just different bodily functions and everything like that, especially what's going on in the world as we see COVID sort of taking over right now. Again, that's not doom and gloom or anything like that. It's just, it's the statistics are out there. You guys know what it is. We don't have to go over it too much today, but I wanted to make sure that we talked about vitamin D. All right, vitamin D3, vitamin K2, and zinc, and how these three vitamins, all right, and minerals, so 2 vitamins and a mineral, can optimize your health and really boost immune system function. All right, and more. All right, we'll get into more in that, but I really want to focus on the immune system boosting effects and the synergy between both vitamin D, vitamin D3, and vitamin K2. All right, K2 has exploded in popularity due to the studies that are coming out, same with vitamin D, that are coming out, especially during this time of the pandemic. So I definitely wanted to make sure that we got this talk in. Constantine, good morning from Trinidad. That's so awesome. There's so many great listeners from Trinidad. I love it. Thank you so much for joining. Sonia, thank you so much for joining. Good morning to you from Quebec. Absolutely. Bonjour. Comment ça va? Thank you so much, Sonia. I appreciate you coming in. That teal badge is looking very good, I must say. Sonia, thank you so much for being a member of the channel. I appreciate you and your support. Thank you very much. So we're going to get right into it here today, guys. Again, before we've been looking at the macro effects. All right, the macro, like our heart disease, things that we can do for blood pressure. We're breaking it down, micronutrient, nutrient by nutrient, and we'll start with vitamin D. We'll start with vitamin D and then build into vitamin K2 and then start off with our mineral zinc and how this can optimize your health. Now, I will say that I am supplementing with vitamin D3 right now. It's one of my big supplements, one that I take every single day. Same thing with zinc. All right, so just a little bit of kind of behind the curtain look here. What am I taking? All right, and what are a lot of doctors actually recommending? There's a few doctors that I'll listen to on YouTube and things like that. But, I was doing that sort of before. This goes back, vitamin D for me goes back way even before the pandemic. But a number of different years, the importance of vitamin D, especially living in Canada and in this time where we don't have a lot of sun. Sonia, I bet you can relate to this. Not a lot of sunlight. The days are much shorter. All right, it's still dark right now as I speak. All right, and it'll be dark by 5 p.m. today. All right, so vitamin D has been on my radar for quite a long time. All right, so there's a lot of things that I want to bring up about vitamin D, vitamin D3. That's one of the supplements I take. The thing that I like about vitamin D supplementation, right, especially if you're living in an area where you're not getting a lot of sunlight, is that it's one of the cheaper supplements out there, which is great. All right, because that can make it very, very easy for you to increase your vitamin D. All right, because vitamin D deficiency, all right, the rates go up and up, especially, like I said, in areas where there's not a lot of sunlight, in areas where, you're not getting that natural sunlight, natural production of vitamin D. All right, the deficiency levels go up and up during this time. The other thing that I take every single day is zinc. All right, now again, the dosages are going to depend on who you talk to, what source you're getting it from, what study you're looking at. I actually just saw an interesting study that came out of Northern Ireland, I believe. It was either Northern England, Northern Ireland, same sort of area, where they were looking at levels of 4,000 IUs to 10,000 IUs. Now, for some people, I would not recommend taking that much. Of course, you want to speak with your medical practitioner to find the right dosage for you. What a lot of sources are saying is about 2,000 IUs per day of vitamin D. All right, and then for zinc, again, that's going to have a fairly large range to it. For men, a little bit more. For women, a little bit less. You're looking at around 10 milligrams per day. All right, so you see anywhere from 10 to 50. All right, that's the interesting thing with these studies. Anywhere from 10 to 50 with vitamin D, anywhere from 1,000 IUs up to 10,000 IUs. That's why, again, it's important to speak with your medical practitioner. I'll just say again, I take a little bit more than 2,000 right now. So let's talk again. Post in chat. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. 43 thumbs up as we're just getting started here. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. I think this is a topic that you guys will enjoy. We're not even 8 minutes in. We're already at 43 thumbs up. So thank you so much. Say hi in chat. Narissa, thank you so much. Watching from the British Virgin Islands. Well, welcome. It's great having you here. Everyone all over the world. That's what I love about these chats. So let's get into vitamin D, why it's important, why we need vitamin D right now to optimize our health, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. And even if it wasn't, okay, so even outside of pandemic discussion and everything like that, we need to make sure that we're at good vitamin D levels. All right, because vitamin D deficiency is and we'll talk about vitamin D deficiency, one of the big ones out there. Zinc, not so much. It's a little bit lower, but vitamin D deficiency in these winter months, all right, a little bit more. People are going to be a little bit more susceptible to that as we're in these winter months, less sunlight, shorter days, things of that nature. Kathleen, good morning to you. Again, another great listener from Trinidad. Appreciate you, Kathleen. Thank you so much for joining us again. Again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to comment in chat. I'd be more than happy to answer. Again, say hi. I love seeing and reading the interaction with you guys. That's why I love doing these streams. This is our second in 3 days. The only reason why I didn't do one yesterday, it just happened to be Christmas. So took yesterday off. We're back on Boxing Day. Now we're back Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. So great to be back. Great to have you guys in here. So let's talk a little bit about vitamin D. Now, I just want to preface this, all right? COVID might come up, or we might talk a little bit about the pandemic. I want you guys to know this isn't coming from a medical practitioner point of view, all right? It's from studies and everything like that. So I'm not saying that if you take vitamin D or if you supplement with vitamin D, or you're just getting it, say you're in Florida like Eileen, all right, and you're getting good levels of vitamin D, does not necessarily mean that you are, immune to COVID-19. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. I just want to talk a little bit about what the studies are saying and why vitamin D is so important. Okay, now, again, it's not from a medical practitioner point of view, but again, I'm reading all of these studies. I've read a number of studies on vitamin D, a number of videos on the importance of vitamin D. We have quite a big vitamin D deficiency video with, I think, hundreds of thousands of views talking about this. Like I said, this was pre-pandemic. This was almost 4 or 5 years ago talking about vitamin D deficiency on this channel. So I just want to make sure that point is taken care of, and we point that out right off the bat. Same with vitamin K2, very, very important, and with zinc. I think I have a zinc deficiency video. Maxina, thank you so much for joining us. Cheers to you, New Year to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you, Maxina. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you. DJ, good morning. Thank you for joining us, guys. I know more and more people are going to start to trickle in. Again, always surprising for me to see people coming in, from Quebec, Sonia, from Florida. I know we're in the same time zone, Eileen. Up at 7 a.m. I appreciate having you guys in here. So let's get right into it. All right, and why I picked these 2 vitamins and this 1 mineral. All right, vitamin D, vitamin K2 being the vitamins, of course, and zinc being the mineral. All right, why I think these are especially important and we need to concentrate on these, and why it's growing in popularity over this time, and why these 3 can help optimize our health. So let's get right into it. Vitamin D. So the benefits of vitamin D, tons of benefits. And again, if you're in an area like I am, supplementing with vitamin D, all right, is very, very popular, and it's an easy way to make sure that we're getting that micronutrient. Again, it's an essential micronutrient for several reasons. Very, very important, not only for immune system, because again, we'll talk about immune system function. All right, it's the sunlight vitamin, as people say. But if we're not getting enough sunlight, all right, then we might have to supplement with it. We can get a little bit from food, but again, that's going to be a little bit tougher. I find it easiest just to supplement with it. All right, you can take just a couple of them every single day. Make sure I'm getting good vitamin D dosages every single day. I think it's very important. It's always on my to-do list. It's one of the micronutrients I've been pointing out to family members and clients that, if you're going to be thinking about a supplement right now, vitamin D, vitamin D3 is going to be probably one of the ones that you want to give some thought to. So, what are the benefits of vitamin D? Okay, again, our body produces vitamin D as a response to sun exposure. All right, we can also know that we can boost vitamin D through the intake, of certain foods. Most popular is through supplements. That's how I'm getting mine right now. I'm not out a lot right now. It's hard to get out when it's minus 20 degrees or there's snow, there's no sunlight, all right, things of that nature. All right, so we know vitamin D is essential. Again, like I said, it's important because, 1, you'll see that it's important for maintaining healthy bones and teeth, okay? Now, the reason why, we'll start simple, all right? I'll get into the bigger ones here in a second. The reason why vitamin D, all right, can help with bone health is because it helps with the absorption of calcium, all right? So we need to make sure that we're aware of that. Again, calcium, very, very important for our overall health as well, all right? So, one of the huge things with vitamin D is we know that it can, 1, help with increasing overall bone health. The other thing that we know, all right, again, its regulation of calcium and the maintenance of phosphorus, all right, is very, very important for overall bone health. Again, osteoporosis is on the rise, especially in areas, like I said, where sunlight is very, very minimal. We go about 6 months, 7 months almost, where we're getting almost no sunlight. So vitamin D deficiency is a huge risk factor here. All right, so we know vitamin D can help to stimulate the absorption of calcium. All right, we also know, all right, that it can help to prevent, all right, because vitamin D deficiency, one of the risk factors, all right, is increasing the risk of osteoporosis, which we know just in the United States alone, tens of millions of people are dealing with or seeking at least some sort of treatment or at an increased risk of developing osteoporosis. So again, if we want to optimize our overall health, we need vitamin D in our diets, all right, especially for bone health and everything that comes with that. We'll get into some more important ones here. Now, the other important thing, we know that vitamin D, and as more and more studies come out, right, we know that vitamin D can help to improve our immune system, which is very, very important. All right, and that's the big chat that we're going to have today, guys. All right, now, how does vitamin D affect our immune system? Well, one, we know that it can have a positive effect, all right, because vitamin D is a necessary micronutrient for proper functioning of the immune system, guys. All right, and if we're talking about immune system and its proper functioning, all right, and boosting immunity and strengthening our immune system, why is that so important? Because the immune system is our body's first line of defense against disease, sickness, illness, infection, things of that nature. We see that this vitamin D, plays a critical role in promoting immune response. Very, very important these days. I think right now more important, maybe more so than, a couple years ago. And again, as COVID is taking over and things like that, again, I'm not saying that vitamin D is going to prevent you from getting COVID or cure you of COVID or anything like that. But we know that having vitamin D in our diets is going to help boost the function of our immune system. Again, prevent cold and flu. Again, protect us from infection and disease. Again, if we want to optimize our health, we need to increase and boost that first line of defense of infection, of disease, all right, of cold and flu and things of that nature. There was a reason why before this whole pandemic and the studies were coming out, one of the reasons why cold and flus were going up was that people were finding that vitamin D was going lower and lower, and people were having vitamin D deficiency. All right, that was one of many reasons. All right, but one reason was because low vitamin D levels in the body. All right, so like I said, all right, vitamin D plays a critical role in promoting immune system response. Very, very important when it comes to, our optimizing our health. All right, I always love the protective effects. All right, I'm not a huge proponent on, with people talking about cold and flu, whether it be illness and disease. All right, kind of getting these illnesses or infections and things like that, and then start taking vitamin D. I take more of a preventative measure, or I at least like to promote more of a preventative measure. All right, so taking vitamin D now, all right, in order to protect us, all right, just in case we get cold and flu or some sort of infection or disease or anything like that, we know that we'll have greater immune system functioning. All right, we'll have a boost to our immune system, and we can have a better immune system response already because we're already supplementing, or we're already taking or getting good levels of vitamin D. So that, again, that's why I think that it's so important. All right, now the other thing, all right, vitamin D and why it is so critical for immune system health, all right, and how it affects immune health, is that it has anti-inflammatory properties. Again, inflammation is going to wreak havoc on our immune system, guys. All right, it can weaken the immune system, cause damage, make us more susceptible to cold and flu, different diseases, and things of that nature. All right, so both its inflammatory abilities, all right, again, is crucial for the activation of immune system defenses. All right, and we see that in a number of studies. All right, which is, again, very, very important. All right, at least in my opinion. All right, so being able to, again, you can get this through natural sunlight, you can get it through supplementation. It does not matter. The important thing is that you're getting good levels of vitamin D. Again, you might say, Coach Nate, what are good levels of vitamin D? It's going to depend on person to person. It's going to depend on where you live. Some, individuals will promote sort of 2,000 IUs. Some people much more than that. All right, 4,000. All right, 6,000. All right, speak with your medical practitioner. See what's right for you. All right, because the dosages can change. All right, and it can change from male to female. All right, different ages need different levels of vitamin D. So again, find out what works best for you. Again, in a lot of the studies, we're seeing things, sort of dosages from 2,000 to 4,000 IUs per day. Now again, here's the other important thing with vitamin D. All right, we've already talked about its ability to enhance the function of the immune system. We also know that it can enhance, and again, this is all through studies, guys, points that I've written down through a number of different studies, and they're not just handpicked. These are a number of different studies that I thought were important for our discussion today. All right, we also know that vitamin D can help to enhance the function of immune cells, including T cells, which you've probably heard if you've been paying attention to the news over the last 2 years. You know the importance of T cells, all right, and how they can help protect us against certain pathogens, which again can help protect us against certain infections and disease. So again, vitamin D, known through different studies, can help to enhance the function of immune cells. So again, boosting immunity, boosting the function of the immune system, including T cells, which are very important. Again, that's our first line of defense against disease. T cells being very, very important. And again, this is why vitamin D dosages change from person to person. Individuals who are older tend to have lower T cell numbers. All right, individuals who are younger, all right, or if their immune system compromised, have lower levels of T cells. All right, so the ability to fight disease, fight infection, things of that nature. All right, if they have autoimmune deficiencies and things like that, or autoimmune diseases, we know that their T cells are going to be just a little bit lower than individuals who are younger, who don't have these sort of diseases. So again, the importance of T cells, all right, which is very, very important again. Now again, in chat here, all right, feel free to ask any of your questions. Let me know where you're listening from, all right, and ask any questions related to these 3 micronutrients, all right, our 2 vitamins here and our mineral, all right, and optimizing your overall health. I think right now, more so than ever, optimizing your health is extremely important, all right. There's a number of things that we can do to optimize our health, guys, but I really want to keep it to a discussion of these vitamins and minerals. As I take a little sip of coffee here, again, 7:25 a.m. That's why I love hearing where you guys are listening from, seeing what time it is for you guys and everything of that nature. But, let me know where you're listening from. Ask your questions. Don't be shy. Let me know if you have any questions related to vitamin D, vitamin K2, or our mineral zinc, all right? Again, dosages are going to depend from person to person, depending where you live. Speak with your medical practitioner. All right. So again, vitamin D, very, very important for immune system health, guys. All right. Not only is it necessary, really, it's crucial in proper immune system functioning. All right. But we also know that it's going to help fight infection, help with fighting disease, promote immune system response. All right. Again, which is very, very important. We want that healthy immune system response in order to reduce the risk of developing disease, cold and flu. We'll get into flu in a second. It has great anti-inflammatory effects, and perhaps maybe even most importantly, or something that I thought was important coming out from the studies, was that it can enhance the function of immune cells, including T cells, which are going to help protect the body against disease, different pathogens, reduce free radicals and oxidative stress, all of that important stuff. Now, we also know that vitamin D is important for immune function because people who have low levels of vitamin D, again, very, very common in Canada during the winter. All right, even places like we know that's why I brought up that one study in Northern Ireland, Northern England. We know people who have low levels of vitamin D have an increased sort of risk to infection, to different diseases, and to different immune-related disorders. All right, they're more susceptible to those sort of diseases, which is quite scary, especially for today. All right, we want to make sure that we're really on the ball with how much vitamin D we're taking. That's something that should be on our minds. Can we take vitamin D3 without a doctor prescription? Example, 1,000 IUs. Absolutely. Sonia, that's a great question. With vitamin D3, all right, it's sold just over the counter. All right, so you don't need a doctor prescription. At least here in Canada, we don't. We can just supplement with it. 1,000 IUs seems like a safe dosage for sure. Like I said, a lot of doctors, even on the low side, are going to recommend something along the lines of 2,000 IUs. Again, I would always say, because I don't necessarily always like getting into dosages and things of that nature, I would speak with your medical practitioner, Sonia, especially because you're in Quebec. So I know how cold it is up there. I know the sunlight might be a little bit lower compared to other areas like Trinidad, like Florida, things like that. I know it could be a little bit lower, but again, it's sold over the counter just like vitamin C and anything else. But I would make sure that you get your dosage right. Again, 1,000 IUs is going to be a little bit on the lower side, just looking at some of the studies. And again, it depends on where you're getting the information from. Some dosage charts will say 1,000 is good. The important thing is that you're making sure that you're getting it in. All right, making sure that you're getting enough vitamin D. All right, hitting that recommended daily intake. So something like 1,000 IUs could be very well and good, just because we're making sure that we're getting at least some of that vitamin D into us, and then we're getting the immune system response that we're looking for. I know in a lot of sort of multivitamins, it's much lower than 1,000 IUs. That's going to be something like 400 IUs of vitamin D. So great question. Again, a lot of the times, we won't need a prescription from your doctor. I think the important discussion with your doctor will be how much, what's the proper dosage, what's a safe dosage for you. And thank you so much, guys. I see we just hit 50 thumbs up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really appreciate the support. And I hope you guys are getting great benefits from this. Continue to ask your questions. So again, vitamin D, we optimize our overall health because its effect on immune system health. We've already gone over a ton of points, just how it can boost immune system health. All right, and again, that's basically the crux of the discussion that I want to have today. All right, why vitamin D is so essential for our optimizing our health. All right, because it can boost immune system function. That's a major kind of important role today, all right, that we have to really bring up just because of what's going on in the world. All right, what's going on in the world? We see a number of different studies that are showing the importance. Like I said, it's interesting that these studies came up right now as sort of the pandemic has been going on. But we've known the importance of vitamin D, making sure, especially where you're not getting a lot of sunlight, we've known the importance of vitamin D for a very, very long time. Like I've mentioned a little bit earlier, there was a video on this channel in regards to vitamin D deficiency that was made 4 or 5 years ago. Just because we're looking at the studies, we know vitamin D is necessary and crucial for optimizing our overall health. But again, for right now, we want that immune system response. And again, I just want to reiterate, I'm not saying if you take vitamin D, you're immune to, infections or diseases or COVID especially. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is by taking vitamin D, we can see that it's having a positive effect on our immune system, which again can optimize our overall health. It can enhance the function of the immune system. It can help enhance the function of immune cells, including T cells, which is great. That's going to protect us from certain disease, infections, and pathogens. And it's going to have great anti-inflammatory abilities, which again, because if we're having inflammation throughout the immune system, all right, then we're weakening, all right, we're weakening the immune system, and we're not getting that activation of immune system defenses that we're looking for, all right, especially if we already know too, all right, and this was in the video that I created and sort of made a number of years ago, that if you do have vitamin D deficiency or low levels of vitamin D, all right, you're putting yourself at risk, or at least making yourself more susceptible to different infections, diseases, and immune-related disorders. All right, again, right now, that's a big deal with what we're going through in life. So I would say, to optimize our health, take the preventative measures. All right, I'm always huge on preventative. All right, we don't want to develop some sort of disease or infection and then start supplementing with vitamin D, especially if our levels are already low. And again, you can get tested, all right, going to a doctor, see if we do have a deficiency. I like the preventative idea, making sure that we have a nice strong immune system, All right, going from there, and then let's say that we do develop some sort of infection, and again, we're just throwing it out there. Let's say it might happen. If it does happen, then we have a strong immune system ready with those T cells, enhanced function of the immune system, and we're ready to go from there. Sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but Doña, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Maybe I'll just say Fred a little bit easier. I apologize, Fred. Yes, you can depend on your age. Most people aged over 50 need D3. Absolutely. And that's exactly what I'm saying. It's going to depend on your age and everything like that. Some people might need more than others. Because, as I also said, Merry Christmas, stay safe. Thank you so much, Fred. I appreciate that. And I apologize if I was mispronouncing your name. But, those individuals who are a little bit older, as I mentioned, all right, having good levels of vitamin D is going to enhance the function of immune cells, including T cells. And we know as we get older, all right, the number of T cells that we have decreases. So your ability to, protect our body or fight against infections, pathogens, diseases can decrease just a little bit as we get older. All right, so that's where vitamin D3, all right, vitamin D can play a crucial role in optimizing our overall health, that protective measure which we were talking about. All right. And again, the easiest way, if you're not getting natural sunlight, the easiest way is just to have supplementation. All right. Supplementation of vitamin D, like I said, it's going to be one of the cheapest and most easiest to find supplements out there. Now, again, I will just say this. All right. We also know that, and I think this is really important for now. This is what, and again, this isn't coming from a doctor. Again, I'm not a doctor, but someone who's been studying nutrition, reading studies for almost a decade now. My business, all right, my job is working with people on how to be healthier. All right, how to boost immune system, one of those ways. All right, we know, and this is through studies, very, very simple to look up. You can look up a number of different studies. All right, we know that those individuals with vitamin D deficiency, and again, we want to optimize our health right now just because of everything that's going on, and we already know it's already cold and flu season. But people and individuals with vitamin D deficiency, there is a link, all right, so a correlation between vitamin D deficiency and decreased lung function, all right, which may affect your body's ability to fight respiratory infections, all right, so super important right now, all right, so again, I'll say that one more time, guys, all right, those with vitamin D deficiency, putting ourselves at risk for decreased lung function, all right, and your body's ability to fight respiratory infections, all right, and then that's why I say cold and flu season, all right, during cold and flu season, you're seeing a rise in these sort of infections because in the winter, especially here in Canada, there is a much greater risk of vitamin D deficiency, all right, and that can go with a number of, other bacterial or viral respiratory infections. There's a number of studies that show that increased risk of respiratory diseases, things like COPD, tuberculosis, just to name a few. That's what I can remember off the top of my head. So very, very important that if we want to optimize our health, we need that vitamin D, guys, especially what's going on. I mean, lung function, super important right now, fighting respiratory illness. Again, not only are we fighting the common cold and flu, but other diseases, other infections that are out there. Optimize your health, guys. Make sure we're getting good levels of vitamin D, good levels of vitamin D3, especially if you aren't getting that sunlight. Now, we know that they're like the sunshine vitamin. That's why it's called. That's why I keep saying, if you aren't getting a lot of sun, then we need to make sure that we're either eating enough food, but the easiest way is through supplementation. All right. There's a number of studies that show that vitamin D fights disease, all right, helps to fight disease, guys. And it's boosting immune system. We know that's going to help to reduce the likelihood of developing the common cold and flu. There's a number of different research papers out there showing that. All right, decreasing the risk of flu. I think there was one interesting one. And again, when it comes to cold and flu, these are our protective measures. This is what I really want to try to get across, guys. Boost your immune system today. Take those preventative measures, all right? And that's why I'm saying optimize your health. Take the preventative measures. That way, if we do develop some sort of infection or disease, all right, we want to be safe. We already want an immune system that's ready to go, that's going to have enhanced function, that's going to enhance the function of immune cells and T cells, all right, which is only going to keep us healthy and keep us safe, all right, just as Fred just said here. So that's the main crux of sort of what I'm trying to get across here. There's a lot of benefits with vitamin D, and vitamin D3, all right, because sunshine vitamins is D1, D2, D3, all right, those are all included. So I'm just kind of taking an umbrella with vitamin D. But again, of course, that's going to include vitamin D3, all right, which is very, very one of the cheapest vitamins, sort of supplements out there right now. Angela, good morning. Great to have you in chat. Thank you so much. It's great having you in here. Thank you so much again for coming in. Geez, a lot of people on Christmas Eve. Thank you so much. Or not Christmas Eve, sorry, Boxing Day. We were here at Christmas Eve. Again, a lot of people on Christmas Eve, back on Boxing Day. Angela, thank you so much for joining us again. Angela, a great member of the community here. Thank you so much, Angela. I appreciate you. From Atlanta. Very nice. Getting a little more sunshine here than up here in Canada. It's probably a little bit warmer down there. It's a great city of Atlanta. Thank you so much for joining us again, Angela, and thank you so much for being a member of the channel. I appreciate you. Big shout out to Sonia as well. So those are the big ones, guys. All right, with immune system response, I think I've sort of made the point of why vitamin D is so important for immune system. All right, again, it's crucial, necessary. Those are the words that we're using that are being used in studies for proper functioning of the immune system. Again, the immune system is our body's first line of defense against infection and disease. By, getting good dosages of vitamin D, we're promoting immune system response, which again is very important if we want to optimize our health. Has anti-inflammatory benefits, again, which is very, very important. And again, vitamin D is going to enhance the function of immune cells, including T cells, all right, and protect us against pathogens and disease. We also know, lastly, that those with low levels of vitamin D are sort of putting themselves at risk, because there is a correlation of decreased lung function and a decrease in your body's ability to fight respiratory infections. All right, so super, super important, guys, that we're getting those good levels of vitamin D. All right, now how else can we support and optimize our overall health with vitamin D? All right, there's a number. Vitamin D plays a role in multiple ways when it comes to the body. Immune system being one of them, and again, that's the big one that we want to talk about today. All right, boosting our immune system. A number of ways that we just talked. I think I just listed off 5 or 6 just related to immune system. We know that it can help to reduce the common cold and flu. All right, reduce risk of flu. All right, there's a great review of research out there that sort of put everything together, made it really, really easy on me, actually, that I have, again, had those protective effects against influenza virus. And again, that's why I think vitamin D to optimize our health is so important. Take it now. Make sure you're getting good levels now so you have those protective effects. Let's say if we unfortunately and sadly do develop some sort of infection or disease, and again, it's cold and flu season. We know that what's going on in the world today. We want to make sure that we have a healthy, strong immune system, and to have that vitamin D is crucial and, like I said, necessary for having proper immune system functioning. All right, so again, to optimize your health, vitamin D necessary. The dosages are going to change. All right, speak with your medical practitioner on how much you should be getting. Again, it's going to be different for, someone like Angela who's in Atlanta than it is from someone like myself who's in Canada where it's cold, not a lot of sunlight. Sylvester, season's greetings to everyone. Thank you so much, Sylvester. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I really appreciate it. and I hope that you're going to get a lot of value from our chat. So thank you so much for joining. Now again, is that the only benefits? Absolutely not. We want to optimize our overall health. We know that vitamin D, again, can help boost immune system function. It supports immunity, all right, which is very, very important. We also know, all right, just to go over a couple of them, all right, vitamin D, all right, is going to help regulate insulin levels and support diabetes management, so reduce the risk of diabetes, all right? Think about comorbidities, guys. All right, so we want to regulate insulin levels, not, again, insulin sensitivity is one of the big things out there right now, especially with diets and with obesity. We talked about that a little bit in our discussion on obesity. We also know we talked about that it's going to help improve and support cardiovascular health. Now, what do I mean by that? Going back to our ability to increase lung function. Because we know if we have a deficiency, all right, there's that correlation with deficiency and putting ourselves at risk of respiratory illness, all right, because of decreased lung function. All right, so very important. It can support lung function and cardiovascular disease. All right, we also know, and again, I don't always like to get into huge discussions on cancer and things like that, but again, it has anti-cancer properties, and the reason for that is its anti-inflammatory abilities, all right, and a number of other things. If we're talking about immune system boosting, of course, you're going to get some of those benefits as well. All right, so that's why vitamin D is so important, guys. If you're just getting into the chat now, thank you so much. I just said thank you for 50 thumbs up. We're at 59 thumbs up right now. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you're getting great value from this chat. All right, this is why you need vitamin D. And vitamin, again, that includes that umbrella of different vitamin D, D1, D2, D3. All right, the dosages are going to depend on, and thank you so much for that 60, which you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. This is why the dosages are going to range from person to person, but make sure that we're getting that vitamin D in there. I'll let you guys know that one of the supplements I'm taking is vitamin D right now. I've been taking it for a number of different years, a number of years right now, well before the studies that are showing just how important it is for, dealing with COVID, all right, because that's what came out, and we saw that it was very, very popular. It was almost impossible to find vitamin D supplements at the very beginning of the pandemic. You guys might have gone through that a little bit as well, but we know just how important. Like I said, I made a vitamin D deficiency video probably 4 or 5 years ago, just because I knew how important it was for our overall health and optimizing our overall health. And again, it's not like I myself was ahead of the curve. There were studies that were out there, and I just happened to find those studies. So it's not like I've, sort of invented the wheel. It was already out there. It was known. And then these studies kind of came out showing that it can have a benefit with COVID and all of that different stuff. But again, make sure you're getting good levels of vitamin D, vitamin D3 right now, guys. Optimize your overall health. One last thing that I will say, all right, not only will it help with immune system, all right, we already talked about healthy bones because, again, it's going to help with the regulation of calcium and maintenance of phosphorus, which are both vital micronutrients for maintaining healthy bones. All right. But I think the big one here that we want to talk today about is the immune system boosting effects. Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Ayana. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I'm not. Ayana, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining us in chat today. And thank you everyone who's joining us in chat. I hope you're getting good results. If you have any questions about vitamin D, vitamin D3, anything of that nature, then, go ahead and ask in chat. But I just want you guys to know how important and often overlooked, all right, because vitamin D deficiency is often one of the more common deficiencies that's out there. But again, I wanted to make sure we touched on it today because of its protective measures, and especially with immune system. Have a strong immune system so that in case we do have that, develop infections, diseases, then we have an immune system that's ready to go, all right, boosting the function of immune cells and T cells. Very, very important. Now, here's the interesting thing, guys, all right. I talked a little bit about one of the overlooked vitamins that's out there. So I think we can move on from vitamin D. Let's talk a little bit about vitamin K2. All right, we know that vitamin K, very, very important vitamin, sort of now more so than ever, but it's very, very interesting going back to our vitamin D discussion, because we know it's sometimes referred to as sort of like the perfect pair, because what studies are showing that vitamin D3 and vitamin K2 have a great synergy between the two of them. Both can help to amplify the effects, all right, and the benefits that both of these important vitamins give to us. All right, so that's why I put them both in the title as well. All right, vitamin D3, all right, taking it with vitamin K2. Again, you can supplement with vitamin K2. We also know that vitamin K2 can be found in fermented foods. I take sauerkraut right now, guys, in order to get my K2. I think that's one of the easiest ways to get it. I love sauerkraut, huge proponent of sauerkraut right now, high in vitamin C. I think it's a great food if you do enjoy it. Has probiotics and prebiotics, so it's kind of one of those ones that's going to cover a lot of bases. But you can take a supplement with vitamin K2. All right, and it's again one of the ones that I've been telling family and friends about, vitamin D3, vitamin K2. We know that it's super important. Also, whole eggs are great for vitamin K2 as well. And I think one of the other ones is organ meats, not as popular, I will say, as things like eggs and sauerkraut, fermented foods, things of that nature. But I believe organ meats and things like that are a great way of getting it. Again, you can always supplement with vitamin K2. Susan, thank you so much. Again, a lot of familiar faces in here. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you all coming in here. I hope you're having a great morning, Susan. Thank you so much. But again, what we're finding and what studies are finding is that, again, it's really interesting because, with vitamin K2, it's one of those ones where people weren't really giving too much thought, but over the last, year or two, it's really sort of become very, very, I'd say it's sort of exploded in popularity. We know that vitamin D3 and vitamin K2 can help enhance the function of each. So we know that if you want to get the immune system boosting effects of, vitamin D, vitamin D3, all those other benefits that we've already gone over, I won't rehash them for you guys. You don't need me to repeat myself. Right? But to get those benefits from vitamin D, vitamin K2 is a great vitamin to supplement with it. All right, that's why I say great synergy between the two vitamins. That's why I say it can also optimize overall health. All right, and it's sort of referred to as the perfect pair. All right, pairing those two. All right, and again, vitamin D is a nice pair with calcium because vitamin D can help with the absorption of calcium, and that's why it can, and maintenance of phosphorus. That's why it can help with healthy bones. All right, vitamin K2 also promotes bone health and heart health, which you will get a little bit from vitamin D as well. So let's talk a little bit about. All right, sorry, I just want to make sure I'm not missing any comments here. Susan, I'm taking vitamin D3 and K2 and a probiotic. Very nice. I will. You know what? It's interesting because, vitamin D3, vitamin K2. All right, K2 I'm not supplementing with. But, it's one of the ones that I would. I just think I'm getting good levels without supplementing. But if I was going to add one, Susan, it would probably be vitamin K2. And I'm also taking a probiotic. So that's awesome. Congratulations. I think vitamin D3, vitamin K2, probiotics, I think great supplements to take. And again, if you can get them naturally through food, that's great as well. But that vitamin D3 is going to be a little bit tougher. Again, that's going to be naturally produced through sunlight. If you're not getting adequate levels of sunlight like myself, all right, like you saw when I did my face reveal, there's not a great tan over on this side, guys. All right, so I need to make sure that I'm supplementing with vitamin D, and it's vitamin D3 specifically. But vitamin D3, vitamin K2, enhancing the function of and benefits of both of those vitamins. And that's especially important for right now, the world that we're living in right now, boosting the immune system effects, boosting the immune system benefits, all right, of vitamin D, which we talked about at length. Again, if you missed it, you might want to go back and re-listen, just because I don't want to rehash it again. How long did we spend talking about vitamin D? Almost 45 minutes talking about vitamin D. I don't want to go over it again for you guys who are listening and bore you with that. So those are great, if you're going to take vitamin D3, vitamin K2, great synergy with the both of those. And probiotics, very important as well. Now, the reason why, I'm not taking a vitamin K2 supplement is because I'm having fermented foods also. All right, and that's going to make it a lot easier to get vitamin K2. Now, let's talk a little bit about vitamin K2. All right. One, what are its benefits? And also, we should point out that it is different than vitamin K1. All right, so we've known for a while now that vitamin K can be important for a number of different reasons. All right, it's an essential nutrient for a lot of bodily processes. Vitamin K1 is usually found in like your spinach, kale, broccoli, leafy green vegetables, things like that. Cruciferous vegetables, as I like to put it. Vitamin K2, a little bit different. All right, like I said, found more so in like organ meats, like animal foods, but also found in fermented foods, all right, which I found in an interesting study, all right. Sorry, as I take a sip of coffee here. So there's two main forms, all right, of vitamin K. Vitamin K1 found mostly in leafy green vegetables. Vitamin K2, all right, which we're talking a little bit about today. All right, very, very important. Found more so in animal foods, but I really like them in fermented foods. Also found, when we talk a little bit about animal foods, if you're a fan of eggs, which I think are a superfood, you can get good levels of vitamin K2 from eggs as well. And then again, I read an interesting study, and I'll just point this out to you guys because I want to make sure that I'm passing, as much information, as much value as I can to you guys. I saw an interesting study where the absorption of vitamin K2 can actually be enhanced through polyunsaturated, monounsaturated fats. So I'll usually kind of have eggs or fermented foods and then like a salad with olive oil in it, and the olive oil is sort of the special ingredient that's going to help with the absorption of that vitamin K2. You don't have to do that, but that's something that I do just to make sure. I mean, olive oil has a ton of benefits. If you're on a keto diet, if you're on a Mediterranean diet right now, then of course probably olive oil is in your diet already, but I think that's a great way to, get that vitamin K2, help with the absorption. Just as vitamin D helps with the absorption of calcium, why not do the best we can to help with the absorption of vitamin K2 as well? All right, thank you. The thumbs up, guys. I have to say, I am blown away with the amount of thumbs up right now. We're at 68. Like I said, I thought when we were at 50 and I was thanking you for 50, we were at 59. Now I just thanked you guys for 60. We're at 68 thumbs up. Thank you so much for the support, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Thalma, great to have you in chat as always. Thank you so much. Hi, I don't have time to join today. I just stopped by to wish you all happy holiday and Merry Christmas. Well, thank you, Thalma. I very much appreciate that. Same with you. Happy holiday and Merry Christmas to you. And thank you so much for always coming into stream. I really, really appreciate it. And hope you have a great Boxing Day and the rest of a great rest of your holiday. So thank you, Thalma. I appreciate it. Michelle, great to see you. Again, more familiar faces. Great to have you guys in here. Good morning, everyone. Compliments of the season. Thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate it. And thank you for the 70 thumbs up. I don't know if we've ever had this many thumbs up before in a stream. I know before an hour, definitely not. Maybe at the end of the stream, but within the hour, definitely not. So we're differentiating. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So we're differentiating between vitamin K1, vitamin K2. We want to focus a little bit on vitamin K2 here, all right, and its ability to help optimize our overall health. It's the often sort of overlooked vitamin, right? Because it's easy to get vitamin K, all right? You just add a little bit of spinach to your smoothies, boom, tons of vitamin K. A little bit of kale, add some broccoli, very, very high in vitamin K. K1, we should point out. Again, K2, all right, we're going to need to tailor our diet just a little bit. Especially, I think one of the best things, even like if you're on a keto diet, doesn't really matter what diet you're on, but having fermented foods in your diet can be very beneficial, guys. Very, very beneficial. And of course, we're talking about vitamin K2, very beneficial for getting in that vitamin K2. Now, I don't want to go too in depth with it because I don't want to burden you guys too much or put too much information. The important thing is that you're getting vitamin K2. It can be broken down into sort of what you'll call subtypes. Like vitamin K2 can be broken down into MK4, I believe MK5 as well, MK7 definitely. But just make sure you're getting in your vitamin K2. If you're having fermented foods like sauerkraut, then you're going to be getting, great levels of vitamin K2. And I think for optimizing your health, having those fermented foods, getting vitamin K2, supplementing with vitamin D3, a very powerful way to optimize your overall health and boost your immune system, which we really, really want to focus on these days. So vitamin K2, again, like I said, we know that for vitamin K1, all right, with vitamin K1, there's tons of studies out there, very important for heart health, regulation of calcium, all right, the calcium metabolism, I believe, as well. But we should also note that vitamin K1 and vitamin K2 differ quite a bit, all right? They're separate nutrients, guys. We should, understand that as well. So that's why I like to point out that vitamin K1, you're getting them from the leafy green vegetables. Vitamin K2, you would get, at least for myself, like eggs, some animal foods, animal products, but also those fermented foods. We want to make sure that we're getting a little bit of both. So 2 different nutrients, guys. Now, the one thing with vitamin K2, all right, that's important, is that, and again, how much vitamin K2 that you're getting, speak with your medical practitioner. I think that's very, very important. Make sure you speak with your medical practitioner to make sure what your dosages should be. Now, vitamin K2, very, very important for optimizing overall health. Again, it's going to help to enhance immune system function because you're enhancing the benefits of vitamin D. All right, they both go hand in hand. Like I said, the synergy is absolutely incredible. All right, absolutely incredible. I'll say this, in one sort of study, they're saying that the pairing of vitamin D3 and K2 is one of the fastest growing and most successful product pairings that they've seen in a long time. A lot of people are combining vitamin D and vitamin D3 and vitamin K2, all right, which is just incredible because, there's so many important vitamins out there. It's just not funny, but interesting, I think, that those are the 2 that we're sort of, seeing having the most, the biggest boost right now. I mean, if you would have told me vitamin K2 would have seen the biggest boost about 2 years ago, I would probably never have believed that. A lot of people wouldn't even have known that vitamin K2 existed. And that's no one's fault. That's just because it was hardly talked about. It just wasn't one of those ones. We talked about vitamin K all the time, getting it through spinach, getting it through broccoli, and all that different stuff. But vitamin K2 was hardly ever talked about, right? So we know now that if we want to optimize our health, pair vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. Both are going to have great synergy together. And vitamin K2, again, is going to help with that boosting of the immune system, guys. Boosting our immune system, again, super important with the world that we live in today, all right, especially with everything that's going on. You read the news, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you for the thumbs up, guys. Absolutely incredible. I hope you guys are getting great value great value. And again, big shout out to Angela, big shout out to Sonia, everyone else, all of the familiar faces in here, but big shout out to Angela and to Sonia, both Fit Team members. Both have hit the join button and are members of the channel. Thank you so much, Angela and Sonia. I really appreciate it. Sonia with her teal badge, Angela with your green badge. Thank you so much for becoming Fit Team members. I hope you guys are getting great value out of this chat. Again, hitting that join button, becoming a member of the channel, going to get tremendous perks, because what I'm coming out with, different programs, all right, leading into 2022. I'll just give a quick little caveat here. I'm working on different programs for 2022 dealing with nutrition, some dealing with fitness, just because I've been getting a lot of questions about that. But becoming members of the channel, getting those certain perks with our ebooks, with certain programs, those are going to be coming out in 2022. The other important thing is, joining as a Fit Team member. Not only are you getting perks, but there's also benefits, because like I said, those ebooks you're going to be getting at a discounted rate, and Angela and Sonia will know exactly what I'm talking about very, very soon. All right, because I'm finishing them up, working hard on them. And I think you guys will get a lot of value, again, kind of coming from an interesting, sort of different point of view. All right, there's a lot of point of views on YouTube, a lot of, sometimes I'll say rehash type of stuff, which is fine because the studies are out there. But it's always nice to kind of get a different point of view. So thank you so much to the members. If the rest of the members are in the chat, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Or if you're listening to this later on, thank you so much, guys. And if you're getting great value, again, there's no Patreon or anything like that. I don't want to close off the chats and the live streams for Patreon, but the other way to support the channel is through our super chat function, or the super sticker function on the channel as well. So our join feature, becoming a member, or through our super chat. So thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Eric, good presentation. Really appreciate it. My pleasure, Eric. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And thank you everyone else for joining. I really appreciate it. And big shout out to Angela and Sonia, our two members here in chat today, hitting that join button. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Let's continue. Like I said, vitamin K2 pairing with vitamin D3, super important for optimizing our overall health. And we see this in our, in not only, through the studies, but also in everyday life. We're seeing that it's literally the most common pairing of vitamins today. It's exploded in popularity, and it's because of the synergy between the two with optimizing your overall health. Again, by sort of that synergy, you're increasing immunity levels. All right, you're boosting your immunity. You're boosting the function of the immune system, the function of immune cells and T cells. And again, that's your first line of defense against disease and infections. And in today's day and age, I think that's a really important point to bring up, especially, with everything that's going on. But again, what else? Again, we need to differentiate between K1 and K2. Sauerkraut, tremendous source of vitamin K2. Fermented foods, all right, that's how you're getting your K2. Some animal foods, things of that nature. Now, what else can vitamin K2 do for you? All right, we know that it's going to help to boost immune system function. Now, the other important thing, all right, and why there's great synergy between the two, vitamin K2, all right, and vitamin K as well, but vitamin K2 can help to prevent heart disease. It's going to be great for our overall heart health. And you guys know how important and how passionate I am about reducing risk factors for heart disease, just because I know the epidemic, all right, of heart disease that's out there and the toll that it's taking on our population. If you guys know the numbers, all right, or have seen the numbers, all right, I think it's a quarter, at least 25% of individuals in the United States, and these numbers hold true for, all over the world. At least a quarter now, and it's going up to that 30%, 1/3 of the world's population is going to be dealing with some sort of risk factor associated with heart disease, whether that be high cholesterol levels, blood pressure levels, whether that be heart attack, stroke, atherosclerosis, all of these different things. All right, so think about that. We are on our way to 1/3 of the world's population dealing with some sort of heart health complication. Vitamin K2 can help with that. Also vitamin K, all right, let's not forget about that, but vitamin K2 specifically for our chat today, all right, can help with overall heart health. Sonia, when will you say is the best time of the day to take vitamin D? That's a great question. I think anytime, Sonia. I think just getting it in. I take it in the morning, usually with my first meal. Sometimes I'll take it at lunch. I'd say, at any time is great. All right, you can't really go wrong as long as you're taking it, Sonia. Just make sure you're taking vitamin D. All right, the timing isn't as popular as just making sure that you get it in. All right, so please just keep that in mind, guys. Make sure that you're getting vitamin D in. The timing, the nutrient timing, so the micronutrient timing of vitamin D isn't quite as important, or at least I haven't seen a study on it where saying taking it at a certain time over another is more important than another one. I think the important thing is that you're getting vitamin D, vitamin D3 into your diet and making sure you're getting good dosages that way. All right, so again, heart health benefits coming from vitamin K, K2 as well. And again, the reason why we need vitamin D, vitamin D3, vitamin K2 in our diet is because that great synergy between the two. All right, immune system boosting health and all those other things that I've mentioned previously. And thank you so much for the 82 thumbs up, guys. You guys are incredible. Wow. Literally, I don't know what to say about that, but thank you so much. And 1 hour, 82 thumbs up. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you're getting great value from the discussion. But let's just quickly talk about preventing heart disease, because we know if we want to optimize our health, we're talking about immune system boosting, but we're also talking about optimizing our our overall health, not just our immune system. But we know that vitamin K2, right? We saw, especially with artery health, all right, that's where it really shines, all right? So vitamin K2 can really reduce the risk of, artery calcification. What does that mean? The hardening of the arteries. So atherosclerosis, heart disease again. And again, I'm not talking about, just a little bit. I'm talking about significant reduction of artery calcification, a reduction in atherosclerosis, more than 50%, all right, lower risk, which is incredible, all right. We see atherosclerosis just exploding in the population because of fatty deposits and all of that stuff. So the fatty deposits and everything like that, creating build up atherosclerosis, a hardening of the arteries. Gee, Ali, I didn't start from begging. Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean there, G Ali. Maybe I'm missing the point, but I apologize. I can't answer that. Maybe you can clarify. But again, reducing heart disease. Again, just by consuming vitamin K2, you're reducing your risk of heart disease. I think from some of the studies that I saw was close to 10%. All right, and again, this is taking from studies where it has participants of over 10,000 individuals. So it's not just small studies, guys, or one study taken here and there, but we know with long-term controlled studies and trials, vitamin K2 is needed to help prevent heart disease. Very, very important. Which I think is great because, like I said, almost 1/3 of, at least 1/4 of the world's population is going to be affected by heart disease, or at least some sort of heart disease risk factor. Again, we know vitamin K2, very, very important for overall bone health, just like vitamin D. All right, and we know that as with an aging population, all right, we know that bone health is becoming more and more important, lowering the risk of osteoporosis. All right, vitamin K2, all right, and pairing, and this is why it's so great pairing it up with vitamin D3, because vitamin D can help with the absorption of calcium, but we also know that vitamin K2 helps with the metabolism. All right, it plays a central role with the metabolism of calcium. All right, our main mineral found in bones. All right, again, which is very, very important. So again, increasing bone health, which is tremendous because, like I said, fractures are on the rise, especially with older women, as we see in studies. Bone mineral density is decreasing, all right, through studies as we're starting to age. And again, that's taking a toll on, individuals' overall health. All right, if we don't have proper bone health, guys, if we're dealing with osteoporosis and low mineral density and increased risk of fractures, if someone, that is a little bit older, all right, and they're having fractures, hip fractures or anything like that, that is a huge detriment to their overall health. All right, I can't stress that enough. All right, just the studies, I won't get into the studies and the mortality rates that are connected with that, but a huge issue, a huge problem. We also know then the reason why vitamin K2 is so important in improving overall bone health, so important for preventing osteoporosis, but also for improving overall bone health, is because vitamin K2 activates the calcium binding actions of two proteins, all right, that are needed to maintain bone health. All right, and I have 2 studies written down that show that. All right, and it's sort of observational studies again, all right, and sort of like a nice list of a number of different studies that were listed there that shows the importance of vitamin K2 and activating these calcium binding proteins. So I think it's really interesting that the studies are showing and the evidence is showing that you're getting great bone health, not just from K2, but also from pairing it with vitamin D3. All right, again, fractures can have a detrimental effect on individual health. And again, lastly, all right, we talked a little bit about it with vitamin D3, but we also know, and again, I don't always like to get into cancer discussions, but we see through studies that vitamin K2 can help to reduce the risk of certain types of cancer. I'll just point out, some of the ones that were shown in studies were liver cancer, all right, a decrease of liver cancer and things of that nature. Other types of cancer, again, I don't want to get too much into this, just because the reason why I don't is because I don't want to give off the impression that if you supplement with vitamin D3 and with vitamin K2, then you're immune from cancer. All right, but it can play a preventative role. All right, it can play a preventative role, as studies are showing, and again, it's several studies. All right, also prostate cancer, all right, it can help with. And again, it's important to differentiate between vitamin K1 and vitamin K2, because we see in these studies vitamin K1 isn't having these effects, but vitamin K2 is providing them. It's the same thing with what I mentioned with bones. Now, vitamin K is obviously going to help with bones, but we see these differentiating statistics between vitamin K1 and vitamin K2. And again, when it comes with preventative measures with certain types of cancer, we're seeing that vitamin K2 intake can have those preventative measures, say with like liver cancer, prostate cancer, things of that nature, whereas vitamin K1 really had no effect or no preventative measures when it came to that. So I think that's why it's important to differentiate between the two. Miki, thank you so much. Wonderful topic. I'm subscribing now. Thank you all. Well, thank you very much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I'm glad that you're enjoying the topic. Thank you for the wonderful comment. Gianni, sorry, I still didn't understand what you meant with your first comment. What type of vitamin D we should have? Well, as we mentioned before, all right, you can go back and listen, but vitamin D, all right, is broken down into vitamin D1, D2, and D3. I think with the most important, maybe not the most important one, but the one that we're seeing being supplemented the most is vitamin D3. If you're getting natural sunlight, you're getting all three of them. All right, but vitamin D3, especially important for all of those benefits that we mentioned, but just vitamin D in general, all right, and not really focusing on a type, but just vitamin D in general is going to give you those immune boosting effects, which I thought was interesting looking at the topics. It wasn't really differentiating between D1, D2, or D3. All right, but we know that D3, all right, and that's why I didn't put D3 in the title. It's just vitamin D right now. That vitamin D3 is important with its synergy with vitamin K2, which I think is very, very important, especially with all of the benefits that come from both of these vitamins. And like I said, this pairing is the most popular pairing right now. It's kind of come from, I think, the pandemic a little bit, and just people starting to hear a little bit more. Vitamin D blew up at the very beginning of the pandemic. We can maybe all agree on that. And then same thing with vitamin K2 now. We're seeing more and more studies with the benefits of that. So I think just making sure that you're getting in vitamin D. I supplement with vitamin D3, I will say that. Okay. So again, just to kind of reiterate, how do we get vitamin K2 into our diet? Because it can be a little bit tougher than, say, vitamin K1. And both are different nutrients, so we need to separate them. Vitamin K1 is easier because it's found in those cruciferous leafy green vegetables. Spinach, kale, I already mentioned them. But for vitamin K2, I think your best bet is through fermented foods. All right, that's going to be a nice way of getting it. Sauerkraut being one of them. But vitamin K2 mainly found in fermented foods. All right, I think, the other one I'd say is sort of, we already know, and people usually aren't a fan of things like liver and other organ meats, but that's where you would get vitamin K2. I think it's the easiest, and this is exactly where I'm getting it from. So I'll be, like I said, I'll go behind the curtain. I'm getting it from sauerkraut and from egg yolks. All right, and I'm able to, get enough and get my daily recommended value just from eating sauerkraut, and I'll eat probably 1 to 2 egg yolks a day. And that's how I'm getting my vitamin K2. I'm adding a little bit of olive oil because there has been some studies that show that olive oil can help with the absorption of vitamin K2. And then so you get that vitamin D3, K2, olive oil mixed together. Great, tremendous benefits from all three of those. Now, the nice thing about with sauerkraut, fermented foods like sauerkraut, you're also getting prebiotics and probiotics. We should also differentiate. Remember, I told you guys that there's subtypes of vitamin K2. I wouldn't worry too much about these. I would focus more on getting in your vitamin K2 than the subtypes, but I will just point out, because I wrote them down, with the animal foods, so say like your egg yolks, you're getting the MK4 subtype, whereas fermented foods like the sauerkraut, all right, I'm getting more of the MK5 to MK14 subtypes. All right, just kind of important to differentiate and let you guys know that those different subtypes. But I think the important thing is that you're focusing on K2 in general. All right, if you're getting some egg yolks, which again, eggs with the egg yolk, not just the egg white, I think is a tremendous superfood. Even sauerkraut in its own form could be considered a superfood. All right, very low in calories. All right, very high in micronutrients. Great source of probiotics and prebiotics, and it's going to give you vitamin K2. Great levels of vitamin C. All right, so sauerkraut is a tremendous food. Very, very important for those individuals, I think, on keto as well, because not only does it have those benefits, but it's also very low in calories and also has a little bit of fiber in it as well. So sauerkraut is a tremendous food, guys, especially for when we're thinking about vitamin K2. And again, if you're a fan of like liver and organ meats, then you can get the MK4 subtype. You can get vitamin K2 in there as well, but I think most people find it easiest to get their vitamin K2 from fermented foods. Now again, just give me 1 second here, guys. I'll be right back. Literally 30 seconds. I just need I'll grab a quick glass of water and then I'll be right back. All right, guys. Thank you for holding. Sometimes I can get a little bit dry. I feel like sometimes I can be losing my voice a little bit. How long have we been going for? We've been going for almost an hour and a half. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for the 85 thumbs up. Wow, you guys, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Like I said, the most important thing for me is that you guys are getting great value. And I hope you're getting great value from this topic with these 3 specific micronutrients and optimizing your overall health. Crossing the line, thank you so much for joining me today. What do you think about natto supplements? Well, interesting. Well, natto, like a fermented food, so I believe it's pronounced natto. I might be mispronouncing that. Natto, I think it's natto, similar to like a miso and things like that, like a sauerkraut. If I'm correct there, a fermented food, I think just fine as well. The nice thing with the supplement you just mentioned, crossing the line, is you are going to get some vitamin K2. And the subtypes from natto, all right, is going to be the MK5 and MK14, all right, as we've seen in some studies. Very similar to sauerkraut. So if you're not a huge fan of sauerkraut, then absolutely you can supplement with that as well. And I think that's just fine. I would try to eat it. The supplement is sort of interesting. And if I'm not sure if you mean with supplementation like in pill form or whatever it is, but I'm not sure if that's going to bring down the amount of K2 or anything like that. I don't think it would. I've just never supplemented with anything like that. But I know that from natto, if you're having that, then you're definitely getting vitamin K2 and you're getting your MK5 to MK14 subtypes with that. So great question. Same with miso. All right, those are sort of the 3 most popular: sauerkraut, natto, and miso, where you're going to get good levels of that vitamin K2 and the subtype MK5 and MK14. So great question, crossing the line. Thank you so much for asking. All right, just making sure I'm not missing our comments here. Which is better to cook, the egg or boil them? Again, doesn't matter. I have boil, but again, as long as you're eating the egg yolk, then Ali, then that's the important point. That's where your vitamin K2 is going to be from. Again, a lot of people won't eat the egg yolk because they're a little bit worried about the cholesterol level. If you're eating it in moderation, guys, it's going to have very little effect on your serum cholesterol levels, especially if you're living an active lifestyle and you're eating a healthy diet. All right. Again, a lot of people were turning to egg whites because they were trying to reduce the fat intake for one, and especially the cholesterol intake from whole eggs. We've seen in numerous studies now the serum cholesterol levels are very, very little affected by the actual egg yolk and from foods in general, but more having to do with obesity, living a sedentary lifestyle, eating a poor diet. The other thing that we need to keep in mind when it comes to egg yolks is that's where all the nutrients are. That's what the K2 is, all right? There's no K2 in an egg white. So, make sure that you're getting at least one yolk if you can. Like I said, I'm having 1 to 2 a day. So how much sauerkraut should you eat? Well, again, Gregory, that's a great question. All right. So, the interesting thing is, all right, I won't measure sauerkraut for me. I won't measure. I'll just throw like a bunch into a certain, I could almost make like a keto friendly diet sort of recipe for up on the channel. I would say if you're eating somewhere around like 50 grams, usually what I'll do is I'll just take like 4 or 5 big forkfuls because I got to scoop it out with a fork, not a spoon, obviously, if you've had sauerkraut. Then you're going to get a good amount of sauerkraut. With that amount of sauerkraut, you should be hitting your K2 levels. You don't need a ton of K2 per day. What was the number? I had it written down of how much you actually need. It's quite small. It's a lot smaller than we think that we need. The important thing again is just make sure that you're getting some sauerkraut in your diet. I think if you're doing that, then you're going to be doing yourself a service with getting that vitamin K2 in there. Again, it's going to depend. How much sauerkraut is going to depend on person to person a little bit, Gregory. Just because, male to female, all right, weight, all right, because how many calories you need to eat per day. I would say just make sure that you're getting, a fairly good amount in there. Like 50 grams is usually what I would go with. Maybe like 50 to even sometimes 100 grams of sauerkraut, because I don't always measure it, but I'll measure the bowl that I'm putting in, because I measure avocado, I measure I even measure like the lean ground beef that I put into this meal. That's why I'm saying it's very keto friendly. So sometimes I'll end up measuring the sauerkraut, but I think just a couple forkfuls put in there, I think you're gonna be just fine with that amount. Oh, okay. Astaxanthin, I believe that's pronounced, isn't it, Angela? With vitamin C. So very nice. So great benefits there as well. I hope that helps answer your question, Gregory. Again, you don't need a ton of sauerkraut. It's not like you need to have sauerkraut at every meal. I think if you're just throwing it, like getting to me, it's kind of hard to explain just because I'm not measuring. It's usually somewhere between 50 to 100 grams of sauerkraut, but I usually will just grab a forkful out of the jar. It's like 4 or 5 big heaping forkfuls, and then add that to my meal, and I'm more than happy with that amount of sauerkraut. But crossing the line, I hope that helped answer your question as well. G. Alley, I hope that was also helpful. So that's our benefits for K2, guys. Just remember, K2 is a group of nutrients divided, all right, into vitamins K1 and K2. Vitamin K2, important with that synergy with vitamin D3. Both enhance each other's benefits, all right? And with all the immune system boosting and all the other health boosting and health optimizing benefits that we're getting from both of these vitamins, often overlooked, especially if we're living in areas where we're not getting a lot of sunlight. Important that we're getting that K2. We also know that there's different subtypes, different depending on the K2 choice that you're making, all right, the food choice, whether it be from animal products or from fermented foods. The reason why I like the fermented foods a little bit as well is because you're going to get the prebiotics and probiotics. All right. We also know that vitamin K, all right, boosting immune system, essential, clearly plays a role in reducing the risk of heart disease, all right? And we know that it's going to help optimize and maintain good health, all right, especially in today's day and age, paying attention to that preventative measure of, making sure our immune system is boosted and functioning properly, and sort of boosting immune cells and T cells. That's what we've been talking about so far here, guys. Okay, no problem, Gregory. My pleasure. So yeah, just make sure you're getting a good serving. It's like I said, it'll depend on different people. Again, I just get a couple big forks full and throw it into my beef and avocado and onion and everything of that nature. So a bunch of probiotics, prebiotics into this meal. Again, I really should put the recipe up for you guys, because I know a lot of people are interested in keto type diets and keto type foods, and this would be a good one for getting vitamin K2 into your diet as well, along with probiotics. All right, I think both go hand in hand. All right, and both are immune system boosters, because it has onions in it as well. Sometimes I'll put garlic. It's just a great meal. Broccoli in it, so you're getting a ton of vitamin K, both K1 and K2. Again, if you want to optimize your health, this is one of the meals to do it. Thank you so much. It seems like every time I'm thanking you guys for the thumbs up, it seems like we're going up by tens. I'm missing like the 83, 84. We're already at 89 thumbs up. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support so much. And if you have any questions, continue to ask them, guys. I'm here to answer your questions, and I appreciate all of the questions so far. Okay, so lots of discussion on vitamin D, lots of discussion on vitamin K2. We know the synergy between D3 and K2 and how important that is, and how popular literally that is right now. All right, the most popular that we're seeing, the most popular combination that we're seeing today. And now let's talk a little bit about the mineral zinc. All right, so we're switching up from vitamins to minerals, all right, and why I'm including all three of these, all right, sort of breaking it down from a macro perspective into the micronutrient perspective here. So with zinc, all right, again, you can find a little bit of zinc deficiency out there in sort of, real world, not as much as vitamin D and things like that, or iron or vitamin B12, but there is a little bit of zinc deficiency. Excuse me. Now, the reason why I added zinc and why zinc is needed to optimize your health, again, we're going to go back to immune system functioning, all right, or immune system boosting. Again, vitamin D3 did that. Vitamin K2 can help with that. Zinc can definitely help with that as well. Again, the big point that I want to make today, take the preventative measures, guys. We want a strong immune system. Just in case we have infection or disease that pops up, we have a strong immune system that's ready to fight. All right, enhanced immune cells and enhanced T cells. These are some of the things, if you're paying attention to the news, you're going to hear T cells for sure. All right, these are the things that we want to focus on. All right, and then I think it's also important to think about, what type of foods that you should be eating to get that vitamin K2. So I hope we were able to get a good grasp on, what foods are going to give you that vitamin K2 and vitamin D. Vitamin D supplementation is quite literally the easiest way to get vitamin D if you're not getting sunlight. K2 supplementation is very, very popular as well. You'll find a D3 and K2 supplementation. I have family members who I recommended both of those micronutrients to, who are now taking a supplement with both vitamin D3 and vitamin K2 in it. So it really is a popular combination. Now, zinc, again, a nutrient that plays a vital role in many bodily processes. All right, super important. Its dosages are going to change from person to person. It's important that you speak with your medical practitioner just to find the right dosage for you. Again, we don't want to overdo it with zinc, all right, or think about toxicity or anything like that. All right. But, why am I putting zinc in here to optimize health? Well, for one, immune system function, guys. It's super important for boosting immune system and having the immune system and having proper immune system function. All right. Again, protein synthesis, growth and development. All right. One of its major roles, and that I want to sort of point out here, and you'll find it often. All right. Zinc supplements or multivitamin supplements that provide zinc. That's a nice way of getting it. The amount of zinc that we want to get per day, like I told you guys before, huge range. You'll find zinc, recommended amount of zinc being 10 milligrams. All right, so 10 mgs per day, up to 50. All right, sometimes I've seen supplementation up to 50. So it's really going to, and it's the same thing with vitamin D, vitamin D3. All right, you see some people recommending 1,000 IUs. You see some people who will put it all the way up to 10,000. Speak with your medical practitioner. Find what's right for you. Right now, again, vital mineral, countless different ways here, guys. All right, we know that zinc is necessary. All right, and this, I think, is an important one, something that I found very interesting when I was reading the studies. It's the second most abundant trace mineral in the body, first being iron, all right, and is present in every cell. So when I say present in every cell, the important reason why I'm bringing that up, that includes immune cells, all right? So the immune boosting effects, all right? Also your protein synthesis, your DNA synthesis, all those other different things, growth and development, enzyme reactions, all right? All those different things. In fact, I think there was one study that showed it was necessary for, I think, over 300 different enzyme activities, all right, which is huge. Everything from metabolism to digestion to, immune system function, all right? Tons of different important roles that zinc is going to play for our body, all right, which again, very, very important. Now, let's talk a little bit about immune system, all right? We know that zinc is one of the big ones here, guys, and especially, again, over the last 2 years, all right, we've seen vitamin D3, vitamin K2, and zinc really, really rise in popularity. One of the main reasons is because it's immune system boosting effects. We want to have that preventative measure. All right, and we all know why. I don't have to go through it again. Ali, is vitamin D3 liquid form or tablets better? Excellent question. I would go liquid, my friend. All right, that's what I take. Liquid is going to absorb much better than tablets. I would recommend liquid or powdered over tablets any day of the week for pretty much any supplement, micronutrient supplementation. So vitamin D3 liquid form, all right, would be what you want to supplement with over tablets. So great question. Thank you, Ali. I hope that helped with anyone else in chat. And again, keep asking your questions, guys. Like, I really feel like I don't want to seem like I'm just kind of rattling off information, but if you're enjoying it, then that's fine too. And thank you for hitting, I didn't see it, but thank you for hitting over 90 thumbs up, guys. Thank you so much. I'm literally blown away by that. But again, we know what, and numerous research studies are backing this up. So this is why zinc has become so popular over the last 2 years. It was popular before, but over the last 2 years, it's really, really exploded in popularity. Vitamin D, vitamin K2, zinc. And again, zinc, most likely and most talked about, all right, and the reason why its popularity has gone up is because its ability to boost our immune system. All right, it's just getting straight to the point. Zinc helps to keep your immune system strong and functioning properly and optimally. So if you want to optimize your health, zinc is needed. Again, if you need supplements, speak with your medical practitioner. Make sure you get that dosage correct because, again, it's going to change and vary depending on person to person. And the supplements, honestly, the amount of zinc that's in each supplement is going to vary quite a bit.
So one, all right, we know that zinc is needed. It's vital in keeping the immune system strong. It's going to help to enhance vitamin D3 and vitamin K2 in its immune system boosting effects and optimizing your overall health. All right, so how is it going to boost immune system? Well, one, we know that zinc, remember the second the second highest trace mineral in the body, second to iron, is going to be necessary for one, immune cell function and cell signaling. So that's important, guys. We need to think about that. All right, when it comes to immune system, we know zinc is one, crucial and literally necessary for our immune system, for immune cell function and for cell signaling. Very important, because if we have a deficiency in zinc, then we know we have a weakened immune response, a weakened immune system. So very, very important that we're getting adequate levels of zinc. If not, we're just weakening our immune system. All right. I think that's important to note. I will let you guys know. All right. The three things, and this is why I really wanted to talk about it today. 3 things that I've really tried adding to my diet. One, or at least to my supplement regime. One, vitamin D3. That's almost a given. All right. That's taken daily. Vitamin D3. I won't say exactly how many IUs I take. If anyone's interested in that, I'll just throw up my business email for you guys. We can talk more about that. I just don't want to put it out there because, again, it's going to depend on person to person. And then what's right for me might not necessarily be right for you. But I will say, you will see anywhere from 2,000 IUs, maybe even 1,000 IUs, up to 10,000 IUs. All right, so I'll put my business email here in chat. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send me an email. All right, and I've gotten, you will not be the first, trust me. I'm more than happy to answer or, talk about different services for the channel. So don't be afraid to email me for further discussion, because there are some consultations and stuff like that are available. So super important that we're getting enough zinc into our diet. Again, one, we know that it's going to keep the immune system strong. Very important. That's our preventative measure. Just like vitamin D and vitamin D3 and vitamin K2 were nice preventative measures for our immune system, because you don't want to have a compromised immune system or have infection and disease and then start supplementing with this. You want to already have a strong immune system and then use this, all right, and then keep your supplementation regime, and then have that strong immune system response to help fight off that infection and disease. All right, that's our preventative measure. That's the one major thing that I want to push today. All right, we also now know that zinc is necessary for immune cell function and the immune cell signaling. So a deficiency can lead to a weakened immune response. All right, so we're only weakening our immune system by not having zinc or optimal levels of zinc in our diet. All right, if we're in a zinc deficiency. Again, it's not super common that there'll be a zinc deficiency, but let's say never, right? Vitamin D deficiency, much more common, but zinc deficiency is also, all right, one of the major ones. All right, it'll be very seldom you'll find like a vitamin C or a vitamin A deficiency, but things like D, zinc, iron, vitamin B12, all right, those are your more common ones for sure. So we know that zinc can help boost the immune system. The other thing, all right, with zinc, and what we found in the studies as well, by looking at certain studies, supplements will help to stimulate, all right, immune cells that can reduce oxidative stress. All right, and usually free radicals go along with that. Now, why is that important? All right, because if we're getting enough zinc into our diet and stimulating immune cells and their immune response, reducing oxidative stress, then we're reducing the risk of a compromised immune system, because what oxidative stress is going to do is, one, compromise the immune system. You could also say weaken the immune system. And if we have a weakened immune system, that's going to put us at a greater risk for, developing certain infections or disease, right? Or at least, taking away that preventative ability, right? So we want to make sure that zinc is in there. That way, we're reducing oxidative stress, we're stimulating immune cells and immune system response, right? And reducing oxidative stress. Remember, oxidative stress can also cause inflammation. If we have inflammation, that can also weaken and compromise the immune system, leading to a greater risk of infection and disease, certain infections and disease. Try some pumpkin seeds. Absolutely has some zinc in it, 100%. Zinc is, if you're paying close attention to the labels, zinc can be one of those ones where you aren't necessarily going to have a certain hard time getting enough zinc into your diet. Now, I supplement with zinc just because I want it to be a little bit higher, all right, in this cold and flu season during the winter, where my vitamin, I already know I'm not getting a ton of vitamin D, a ton of vitamin D3, all right, and it's just cold and flu season, all right, and we also know that we're at almost pretty much at the height of this pandemic almost, so you want to make sure that you're taking those preventative measures. But you're absolutely right, Susan. Pumpkin seeds, a lot of seeds, in fact, will have zinc in them, all right, so things like pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds are a good one. When it comes to nuts, almonds are going to be a big one, but we also know that I think cashews are going to be one of your highest sources of zinc when it comes to nut varieties. Almonds also for sure. Walnuts to a lower extent, actually. Now, we also know that eggs will have some zinc in it to a certain extent. Beef, whether lean, extra lean, whatever it is going to have good amount of zinc in it as well. The other nice thing, and usually why it's a little bit easier to get some zinc into our diet, is because legumes and beans are going to be great sources of zinc. Same with whole grains. So things like oats and quinoa, very, very nice zinc levels. Things like lentils and black beans and kidney beans are going to be great for increasing zinc levels as well. So that's why it's not particularly hard to get zinc into your diet. The only thing is, out of all of those foods that I just listed, I have pumpkin seeds from time to time. Not a ton. A lot of my fat sources come from almonds, walnuts, avocados, and olive oil. That's mostly where it's coming from. So I won't always have pumpkin seeds, but I do have them. All right, so we'll have them from time to time. And then the zinc supplement that I take is on the lower end. It's like 10 milligrams. Sometimes I'll take 20 milligrams of zinc. And again, I don't want to put that out there telling you guys that's what you should take. I'm just telling you what I take. So it's not super, super high. Because remember, I told you can see 50 very easily. But yes, pumpkin seeds are a very good source of zinc, a nice source of zinc. And I think also some sorts of different type of poultry, fish, maybe even shellfish, to be honest, nice sources of zinc as well. So zinc, when it comes to immune system boosting, guys, very, very important, plays a tremendous role in the body of boosting our immunity. All right. And then so just for optimizing health goes hand in hand, right, with those other two vitamins that we've been talking about. Vitamin D, all right, which can include vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. All right. Great immune system and overall health boosting effects. So not just immune system, but we kind of wanted to focus on immune system boosting today. I think these ones are important. If you're trying to boost your immune system, guys, and we're not paying attention to our vitamin D intake, so vitamin D3 can be included with that, K2 and zinc, then we might be doing ourselves a disservice when it comes to the functioning and the strengthening and boosting of our immune system. That's why I'm focused on those three. Now, again, if anyone has any questions, all right, please feel free to ask. You guys have been doing a great job. I love the engagement. Like I said, I'm missing out on all these likes, but 95 thumbs up. I know for a fact I have not hit live 100 thumbs up, and we are almost there. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who's been liking the chat here. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all of the support, guys. Thank you very much. So again, when it comes to zinc and everything else, we know that we're doing a great job boosting our immune system. One, not only is it going to reduce oxidative stress, but we already said that it's going to help reduce inflammation, and inflammation can help kind of compromise and weaken the immune system. So we're reducing oxidative stress. There's also been interesting studies out there that having good levels and optimal levels of zinc in our diet, and this is why I'm supplementing with it, not only can it have preventative measures against the common cold and flu, but it can also reduce the length of the common cold and flu. I think one study showed by up to 1/3. That's a significant decrease. All right. So obviously, if it's having those preventative measures and it's reducing the length of common cold and flu, then obviously we're getting a good immune system boost. We're getting a good immune system response. All right. Especially if you're reducing the length of common cold. The other thing is, one more thing that I'll add in sort of conjunction with immune system boosting, and I think this is important to point out that we've seen in some studies, is that individuals, and this was zinc supplements, all right, so not from food, but individuals who are given zinc supplements, all right, individuals who were giving zinc supplements had a reduce in the risk of infections, and it promoted immune response in older adults. All right, so I think, again, as we get older, we have a lower count of T cells. Right? We have maybe a lower immune system response. By supplementing with zinc, we're seeing increased and promoted immune response in older adults, which is tremendous. All right, again, if you want to talk about preventative measures, all right, there you go. That's why it's so important to have zinc, all right, in our diets when it comes to boosting immune system. If you combine these three, so vitamin D, K2, and zinc, you're doing yourself such a tremendous service when it comes to your overall immune system function, guys. Again, I'm not saying that it's going to make you immune to all infections and all diseases, and to colds and flus and things like that, but you're giving yourself those preventative measures. You're giving yourself the chance to fight off those colds and flus and different infections at a higher risk, which is super important. Now, we also know, and I think this is very important to point out, especially again with everything that's going on. All right. Again, let's think about immune system, all right? And again, this study wasn't even about immune system, but we saw that by relieving oxidative stress, and I kind of pointed this out already, because we reduce inflammation, oxidative stress, free radicals, all right, pathogens in the body, by having good levels of zinc, whether it be through supplementation, through food, or a combination of both. All right, we're relieving oxidative stress, which is going to improve immune system response. And the reason it's going to improve immune system response is because it's going to boost the activity of T cells and natural killer cells, which is amazing. Those two things, all right, so boosting the activity of T cells, which is great, especially in older adults, and that's why we're getting the benefit from older adults, which I just mentioned, all right, and natural killer cells, all right, which will help protect the body from infection, so giving you that preventative effect again, all right. So I just find that amazing. That makes me so happy when I was reading that, because we've seen, in the last 2 years, older adults more and more at risk of certain disease, infections. You guys know what I'm talking about with COVID and everything like that. T cells. You've heard T cells probably in the news, at least once. I know I've heard it many a time, a countless amount of times. So boosting the activity of T cells, right? Reducing oxidative stress, improving the immune response by boosting the activity of those T cells and natural killer cells, which again can decrease as we start to age. All right. It can also, again, age-related diseases. All right. It can significantly reduce age-related diseases. One of the important ones that I wrote down was pneumonia. All right. So respiratory infections. Again, super important for these days that we're living in. So zinc can play a tremendous role in optimizing our overall health. Again, especially in the times that we live in for right now. Again, is it a 100% take this and then you're immune from everything? Absolutely not. But you're optimizing, and that's the word that I use today. You're optimizing your health. All right, you're optimizing not only your immune system, but your overall health. All right. Lastly, we know that zinc can decrease, like I mentioned, can decrease inflammation. All right. It reduces levels of certain inflammatory proteins in the body. We see that through a number of different studies. All right. By doing that, that's going to decrease overall levels of oxidative stress. And again, oxidative stress, free radicals, things like that can compromise and weaken the immune system. All right. And just lead to other chronic diseases or other acute diseases. All right. If we're dealing with inflammation, all right, and let's say you have, what would be one that would be greatly like arthritis. So if you have arthritis or arthritic symptoms or anything like that, all right, it's going to increase joint pain, joint stiffness, swelling, pain, all of those different things. So inflammation, all right, is almost kind of known as the silent killer, because inflammation can lead to a number of different chronic diseases, whether it be heart disease, whether it be, there's finding studies now with brain health and with mood and all of different stuff, with digestive health and everything like that, with cancer. All right. So we already know that oxidative stress and chronic inflammation can contribute, all right, and is a major factor for chronic diseases, as I mentioned, heart disease, mental decline, so Alzheimer's, all right, and also certain types of cancer. So again, it's super important that we're reducing that as much as we can. And again, we already know that it can reduce inflammation. But again, let's take it back to our older adults, people who are more susceptible to certain disease and infections, and people who we want to protect. We also know that there is greater reduction for individuals who are getting good and adequate levels of zinc per day for those individuals who are, for older individuals, all right, reducing inflammatory markers. All right, so it's an important mineral for individuals who are older, a little bit for our older adults, again, who we're trying to protect, who have been, greatly affected over the last couple of years. Wow, see what I mean? 99 thumbs up. Thank you. So that's what I've been saying. I got 49, I got 59, I saw 69, 79, 80. All right. It's almost jumping up by 10s. That's what I said a little bit earlier. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, guys. We're literally one away from 100 thumbs up right now. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Like I said, I hope you're getting good value, great value from this chat. And if you have any questions, guys, please feel free to ask. All right, because vitamin D3, vitamin D, K2, and zinc, all right, those vitamins, because they're becoming so popular right now, all right, and people are starting to learn more and more about them. You're seeing more and more studies, more and more videos on them, all right, more and more chats like this chat that we're having right now, all right. Very, very easy to find supplements on them, all right, but people need to learn, why are they so important, all right. It's important. You always have to have sort of that mindfulness of, what am I putting into my body? Right? Why is vitamin D, vitamin D3, and K2? Why would I want to combine those? Well, now we know both have a nice synergy effect. All right, we've seen that through a number of studies. All right, we know, all right, that zinc is going to be an important mineral for boosting the immune system. Now, not only that, we've really focused on the immune system, and thank you, we hit 100 thumbs up. Unbelievable. I almost can't even believe it. First time for sure live, hitting 100 thumbs up. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. I appreciate each and every one of you. Geez, I almost lost my train of thought. But we need to know why we're combining them, why it's important to take them, and how they're going to help us. All right, and we need, again, with the mindfulness. Are we getting enough through our diet? Are we eating the right foods to get these types of minerals, all right, vitamins and minerals into our body? And if not, do we need to supplement? And then we also need to know what is the correct dosage, right? We see through a number of different studies, sometimes those dosages can vary quite widely, to be honest with you. So speak with your medical practitioner, see what's safe for you, all right? See what's a safe dosage for you. Again, these are the 3 vitamins and minerals, all right? So the 2 vitamins, D, D3, K2, all right? Those 2 vitamins, D and K2, and then the mineral zinc, I'm focused pretty much every day on making sure that they're in my diet, and I'm taking supplements with them. I don't supplement with K2, I should say, but I have added sauerkraut, I eat eggs, and I'm adding a little bit of olive oil and things like that into salads, into like spinach, lettuce, so I'm getting good vitamin K in there, but I'm also focused on vitamin K2, because if you're only focused on vitamin K and you're only getting leafy green vegetables, as we've learned today, they're 2 separate and different, totally different nutrients, different health benefits combined and sort of associated with those 2 different vitamins. It would be like comparing vitamin C and let's say vitamin E, although they're both antioxidants. Maybe that's not the best one, but let's say like vitamin C and iron or something along those lines. You guys get the point. They're both different. They both give us different benefits. They're both very important, all right, but I really like the synergy effects of vitamin D and K2. And obviously a lot of people do, because it's the biggest combination that we're seeing. So just tremendous effects in terms of, how zinc plays a role in our body and how it can optimize our overall health as well. Now, if you do have a vitamin D deficiency, all right, just like we talked a little bit of, or a zinc deficiency, I might have said vitamin D, all right, vitamin D more common, all right, than zinc deficiencies. Vitamin D for sure, especially in areas, like I said, where I'm from, in Canada, where we're not getting a bunch of sunlight and it's cold and you're not outside a lot, right? If you're, kind of vitamin D deficiency is going to put you at risk for some chronic diseases, things like gastrointestinal disorders, like Crohn's disease. It can, lead to things like, we already know decreased immunity, decreased appetite, dry skin. It can affect our mood. I know for sure. That was a big one that I wrote down. So it can affect our mood in a negative level, and it can actually lead to hair thinning. And I have in the zinc deficiency video that I made, I think I put in the thumbnail like hair thinning, all right, because that's one that's going to happen quite often. But decreased immunity for sure. One of the things that we're trying to stay away from, that we've been talking about for, how long have we been talking now? For almost 2 hours and 5 minutes. So we want to make sure that we're getting adequate levels of all 3 of these 2 vitamins and this mineral. Again, if you have any questions on that, please feel free to ask. You guys asked some great questions, like with how eating eggs, natto, sauerkraut, liquid or tablet form, adding pumpkin seeds and things like that. What are good sources of zinc? You guys asked some really, really great questions. Now, again, my face will be on stream just like we had the face reveal. It's not that I don't want my face on stream. We're just trying to the one thing that I'm trying to do is just make sure that, one, the camera looks good. I think I might need a new camera. It's kind of a little bit blurry. The light's not the best. Not that this matters too much, but it's all just getting sorted out. There'll be face on cam for our other chats. If you didn't see the face reveal, you can go back. It's posted up on the channel. All right, and then there's also going to be videos with my face on it as well, going over different studies, going over perhaps those different recipes that I was telling you about, where we can get these different types of micronutrients, because I think it's important. If you want those micronutrients, we need to know what types of foods we need to be eating. I think that's an important part. Best place to get hemp seed oil. Cool and Kofi, thank you so much for the question. Hemp seed oil, so best place to get it? Hemp seed oil I found fairly easy at my local health food store. And I even think it was even at my local grocer, the local grocery store, sort of in the organic section. You can find it. It's a lot more common now than it was 5 years ago. I would go with the oil. The powder is good. But I would go with the oil. Just make sure if you're going with the oil that you make sure you measure it out. Like go teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever you want to do. It's just like when I take fish oil coolant, I make sure that I always know that I'm taking a teaspoon. So just measure it out. I would go with the oil over the powder, but both are just fine. I mean, I take hemp seeds and it's not in oil or powder form. So, I think as long as you're getting it, you're going to be doing yourself a service in increasing your overall health. But there's nothing wrong with hemp seed oil. In fact, that would probably be the way I would go with it. But powder, and like I said, I take hemp seeds. I'll have hemp seeds just grounded up and add it to oatmeal. So, I think sometimes just keeping it simple and getting it in is the most important thing. If I have upset stomach, can I have zinc and the other vitamins D3 and K2? Well, again, GLE, I'm not exactly sure, what might be causing your upset stomach. So it's kind of hard for me to say. I haven't really read too much. Obviously, if you're having too much zinc, it can cause that. Again, it's hard. This is why you speak with your medical practitioner. It's hard to me to say, I don't know your medical history, how often you're having an upset stomach, what could be the cause. Maybe it's a certain food. I think you just keep focusing on getting them in, but speak with your medical practitioner on, dosages and things like that. If it's a constant upset stomach, all right, or constant stomach pain, then you clearly want to speak with your medical practitioner and see what's causing that. If it's from time to time still, if it's something you're dealing with on a chronic and regular basis, then you definitely want to make sure you understand what's causing that. Hemp seed mixed with Greek yogurt is delicious. I agree, Sonia. Absolutely. Sometimes I'll even throw it in there. I always forget how it's pronounced, but I've been really into. I'll type it into chat. Skyr yogurt, I believe, the Icelandic yogurt, very similar to Greek yogurt, just a little bit thicker. I've really been into that yogurt. I was always having Greek. I still have Greek from time to time, but I've switched to that, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Sometimes I'll throw hemp seeds into that. Sometimes I'll throw walnuts into that as well. All right, with a little bit of blueberries, makes for a nice snack. Nice healthy snack. So, I have to thank you. We're not quite done yet, but I just want to thank everyone for coming in here. 102 thumbs up. Unbelievable. The most thumbs up I've definitely seen in a live chat. You guys did a tremendous job. Thank you so much for asking your questions. And you're very welcome, Cool. And I'm glad that you asked the question. Happy holidays to you as well. Sorry I missed that comment there. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Big thumbs up to, and big shout out, I should say, to Sonia and Angela, 2 members of the channel. I appreciate you guys very, very much. I appreciate everyone. But like I put into the perks of hitting that join button and becoming a member, I always want to make sure that I give my shout outs to the members of the channel. Again, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Sonia and Angela. So thank you very much. And to anyone else who's watching this later who's a member, thank you to you as well. And thank you everyone for coming in here. It's Christmas Eve and we've had, I don't know how many people in here in total, but big things coming up in 2022. All right, let's just point that out. I hope you guys got great value from our discussion on vitamin D, D1, D2, D3. K2, all right, and its synergy with vitamin D3, with zinc, and how all of these are going to help to optimize your health and are especially beneficial in boosting your immune system and having a proper and healthy functioning immune system, especially when it comes to things like immune cells and T cells. Unbelievable when you start reading the research on these different types of micronutrients and how they can optimize your health in different ways. I think the important thing is find what dosage is correct for you. All right, find if you need to supplement with it. All right, and we talked about some foods that are going to have these in them, that you're going to have them, that are going to have the, sorry, I'm just reading the chat here, that are going to have these micronutrients in them. So if you think you're a little bit low, or you're, wondering if you're a little bit low, or if you need to supplement, if you already have some of these foods in your diet, you might not need it. Right, but I think if you are going to supplement, vitamin D, one of the cheapest, one of the easiest to find. All right, K2, very easy to find now because it's the most popular combination with vitamin D3, and zinc, of course, a very, 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 very easy one to find as well, because like I said, it's the second highest trace mineral found in the body other than iron, and also all very, very nice on the wallet too, not super expensive. Why do we need hemp seed? Well, you don't need hemp seed. You don't have to have hemp seed GLE, but it is a nice healthy fat. So if you're looking for healthy fats in your diet, then hemp seed or hemp seed oil or anything like that is a nice choice for a healthy fat. I like it because it has good fiber. It's very nice micronutrients in there. All right, so it's nutrient dense. Just make sure you're having it in moderation because it can be a little bit higher in calories just because it's a fat source. A lot of people will look at the protein in it and think it's a protein source. You got to look at the proportion between fat and protein. All right, if there's 15 grams of fat and 5 grams of protein, you're getting 45 grams of fat, which is usually the recommended daily value for some individuals at a certain weight, and only 15 grams of protein, which is quite low. So that's not it's a fat source. It's not a protein source. That's something that I do a lot in my consultations with clients. They'll tell me that their peanut butter was a protein source, but peanut butter is a fat source. Yes, it has some protein in it, but the majority of its calories are coming from, let's say there's 90 calories in peanut butter. All right, a huge proportion of that is going to be coming from fat. What do you think of liquid form of calcium, magnesium, and D3? Solgers makes a good one. I think it's just fine, to be honest, Coolin. I've actually never, that's an interesting one, the one that you're talking about, calcium, magnesium, and D3 in it. I've never seen it. I've seen calcium and magnesium, but I haven't seen one with D3 in it. So very interesting. Sounds just fine. Again, I don't always like to recommend supplementations that I've never really seen or heard from or read on, but I find that very, very interesting. Calcium and magnesium are very popular combination. It seems like they're almost putting D3 in everything right now, doesn't it? Just because of all the benefits, and it's really becoming the most popular vitamin out there right now. So it doesn't surprise me that you'll find a combination of calcium, magnesium, and D3. But again, the D3 may be thrown in there just because of the benefit of the calcium absorption, because we know that vitamin D will help with absorption of calcium. So again, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Kathleen, thank you very much. So I hope that helped answer your question, Coolin. Seems like an interesting supplement, to be honest with you. Magnesium's very, very important. I supplement with magnesium just because I work out quite a bit, and it's so important with so many bodily processes. Kathleen, thank you. Enjoyed the session. Happy holidays. All right. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you for staying in here, Kathleen. You've been in here the whole time pretty much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, guys. We've been going strong for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Wow, unbelievable. And 104 thumbs up. Thank you so much, guys. And like I said, big things going to happen in 2022. All right, I really want to focus. We talked about this. All right, Kathleen, have a great Boxing Day. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Time's going by so fast, I almost forgot that it was Boxing Day. Christmas just kind of came and went for me. Unbelievable. But really big things coming in 2022, guys. Especially now that I have my face on the channel and we've done the face reveal. Not that that was a big deal or anything, but we just had to get the camera right and all the technology. But we got that now. So we have a couple ebooks that are coming out that I want to make sure I get out to you guys. All right, some ebooks. I have a couple programs that I want to get out to you guys that are going to become available. And I also I've gotten some questions on consultations, more than one. All right, setting up consultations. If you're looking at help with because what we talked about in our last live chat was making 2022 the best year that we can. All right, how can we become our healthiest self, the best version of ourselves in 2022? And again, I'm not saying the first month or the first 2 months, the whole entire year. That is the goal. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. If we want to become our best self, it's not going to happen overnight. So I want to be, that's why we have the fit team members like Sonia, Angela, all right, becoming fit team members. All right. I see it as a team, something that we can work on as a team on the channel. All right. Letting 2022 be the healthiest, all right, and best year that we can make it when it comes to, let's say, things like nutrition, all right, things like fitness even, all right, because we haven't done a chat on fitness, all right, or movement, but it's recommended 150 minutes per week of movement, and I'm a strong believer in a mix of aerobic and anaerobic. So a little bit of cardiovascular and a little bit of strength training. Again, you're doing yourself a huge service with both. 150 minutes. If you want to improve your overall health, all right, and decrease the risk of chronic disease and mortality rate, there is nothing more important that you can do than add a little bit of exercise. All right, and not even a little bit, there's a certain amount, but we could talk about this. That could be a whole discussion. All right, so all right, there's certain plans and consultations that people have been asking. That's something that I'm going to make available to you guys because I think that's super important. All right, you can 5x, so 5 times, all right, your overall health just by doing a little bit of exercise. All right, exercising can be one of the most important things. Now, going hand in hand with nutrition, again, which is my job, that's how I make a living, right? Going hand in hand with both of those, that's how you're optimizing your overall health as well. We know vitamin D, vitamin K2, zinc, we've talked about how that can optimize your overall health. All right, we can take it one step further and keep building from there, and that's what I want to do throughout 2022, guys, making that the best year that we can. Thank you so much again. I appreciate all of the support. Big shout out to all of the fit team members. I really appreciate you guys. Big shout out to everyone that was in chat today. Thank you so much for all of the questions. Thank you so much for all of the engagements. Again, I really appreciate it. We've been going for 2.5 hours. We'll have live streams at least on Sunday and Wednesday mornings. All right. Right now, it's going to be even just might be even a little bit more than that. All right. I'm really enjoying these live streams. I hope you guys are too. Like I said, we're doing about 5 hours of live streams every single week. So again, I hope you guys are enjoying them. Thank you so much for everyone that's come in. Thank you everyone for asking your questions, and I hope you got a lot of value for learning a little bit about vitamin D, vitamin K2, and our mineral zinc and how they can optimize our health, and especially related to immune system health. 105 thumbs up, guys. You blew me away with that one. I appreciate you all. Have a safe, happy rest of the holiday. Let's take it step by step. 1% changes every single day. All right, that's how we're gonna achieve, all right, our best 2022, healthiest 2022 that we can. And again, I really appreciate all you guys coming in here. So thank you. I will talk to you live at least by Wednesday, maybe even earlier than that. We'll see how it goes. I'll make sure that I post a reminder just so you guys know the next time and date that it's going to happen. But thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend, and have a safe and happy holiday. All right, and I will talk to you guys next live.